and to really help the game evolve. And it's really interesting to actually see them face off against each other because there are a whole different lot of engines that exist. They aren't all the same. And what we're going to do is we're going to have a look at some really interesting matchups. And the first matchup you can just see there come on the screen is the first matchup we're looking at today, Stockfish versus AnnScakcs, which is well, I'm going to go over what these engines are all about, what their strengths and weaknesses are. Oops, if of course the light doesn't go, which will be exceedingly funny. A nice. Not today, buddy. You don't do this to me today. Come on. Is this real life? Sorry. Goodness me. Right. Apologies for that, guys. Some lighting malfunctions there. Somehow, when I was streaming the other day, I, in a sort of moment of madness, managed to hit the light, and I might have busted it up. Might have to get a new light. Anyway, as I was saying, apologies for that, guys. Looks like I'm back here. Okay. We're going to be looking at three matchups actually today. This is stage 2 of the competition. Stage 1 has just been completed. And AnnScakcs is an engine authored by Daniel Jose Queralta from Andorra. He's a candidate master, and he's playing against the legendary Stockfish. Of course, Stockfish, the most well-known chess engine out there, an extremely versatile engine, is excellent with calculation precision, and of course works via brute force. And it's been really top of the food chain in terms of computer chess for a long time now. But of course, since the arrival of Alpha Zero, and we will be looking at an engine today which is actually an open source implementation of ideas described in the Alpha Zero paper. That's the LC0 engine, self-learning and AI. But Stockfish is not about AI at all. It is about brute force calculation, and has maintained his #1 status. But of course, the match against Alpha Zero, although there are questions about the validity of the match format, either whatever way you look at it, the story of Alpha Zero is quite spectacular, and we'll be talking a bit more about them. In fact, I recommend you all get the newest book out by Matthew Sadler and Natasha Reagan. I just got myself a copy, it's not here yet, talking about the Alpha Zero story. But for now, we've got this game, and I'm just going to talk a little bit more also about what you're looking at the screen. So you'll be able to see here that in the top left is the actual position. The top right is actually what these guys are kind of looking at in terms of analysis. You can see there AnnScakcs going very deep in its analysis line. So don't pay too much attention to those boards, because it's really the top left board that is the only board that is relevant, because that's the actual game. The format is 10-minute chess. So both sides have 10 minutes, and we're going to get, most likely, I would say they're playing for 45, something along the lines of 2 or 3 games in this session, engine against engine. So there should be about 3 games, depending on how long the games go on for. So it's going to be really interesting. And of course, what I'm going to do is I'm going to be keeping my eye on the chat. So everybody who's in twitch.tv twitch.tv/chess. I'm here, and I'm also going to be keeping my eye out on the twitch.tv /computer chess as well. So I will be multitasking, guys. So fire away with any questions. Not too technical, if you don't mind, because I'm not a programmer, and my knowledge of these things is very superficial. That said, I'll do my best to commentate actually on the chess moves. What's going to be really fun, of course, is that these two engines are, well, extremely strong, so they don't really make that many mistakes. So if there is a moment where there's sort of a sort of critical moment, I guess that's where I'll come in. I also want to mention something very, very important, guys, and that is the contest. There is a contest going on, which is a contest to predict who each game result from this computer chess championships. Now we're in stage 2 at the moment. Stage 1 has already passed. If you've just joined, you can still try to guess and predict the result of each game, and you can do that by going to the website chess.com/ccc. So if you're watching this via just the Twitch channel, twitch.tv/chess, get yourselves over to chess.com/ccc and go to the guess the result. There's a vote tab. You'll be able to see there's a quadrant there, and you'll be able to see vote, standing, schedule, match, and info. Go to the vote tab and try to guess the result of each game. The person who actually guesses the most results from all of the games played in this championship has got an opportunity to win a whopping $300 cash and a 2-year diamond membership with chess.com. Second prize is actually $150 and a 1-year diamond membership prize, and there's even $50 for a third placed prize, and 4th to 10th places also have 3 months of diamond memberships. And then, of course, there'll be more prizes even for accurate guesses. So if you really want to follow this very interesting tournament and have a bit of a sweat at the same time, I suggest you get yourselves over to chess.com/ccc, and you'll be able to enter that contest. So as I said today, the matchups that we've got are the following. We've got Stockfish against AnnScakcs, which is taking place now. AnnScakcs against Stockfish with the white pieces, and then we've got LCO versus Laser. I also want to say that there is a 30-second window before each match to choose a side or a draw. So before each match starts, you will have 30 seconds to make your guess. The Real Greco says, love the commentary. Thank you very much. Killswitch322 says, Lawrence, last time we saw you was in Tata Steel. Feels bad, man. I am back. Don't worry. And Steel Wing 95 says, Kepa refused to come off. Now, he's referring to our goalkeeper, Kepa. That's Chelsea FC. I just watched the match before coming on here. I feel sickened and ashamed today to be a Chelsea FC supporter after that shambles. Where is the management? Where is the direction? Completely undermine the manager. I don't know what's going on. There will be sackings in the morning. Anyway, we'll come back to the chess now. So in the actual game, we've got a Sicilian defense. We've got a Najdorf variation with the very trendy move pawn to h3 on move 6. And here, the most played move is e5 and knight back to e2. And now this very modern move h5, which sort of introduced in the past 10 years or so, stopping white from getting a quick g4 in. But of course, you do give away the g5 square, which is, you know, a bit of a concession. But basically, black just says, I don't care. g3, bishop e7, bishop g2, knight bd7, and we're still in a highly theoretical position where here we see the move a4 by Stockfish, stopping any queenside movement with b5. So very well-known position. It's really interesting to see how far they get in their own analysis. As you can see, AnnScakcs here really, really deep. 10, 15 moves down the line here already. So, um, and let's have a look. The real Greco says engines don't have internal books here, but they should be forced to play a few preset book moves for this round. So basically, what the real Greco is saying there is that these engines do have an opening book in general, but apparently in this particular round, he believes they should be forced to play a few preset book moves rather than getting something completely random. Not sure. You can see there as well, if you do exclamation mark PREV in the computer chess Twitch channel, you'll actually be able to see a summary of the stage 1. So this is stage 2 of the tournament. And as I said, AnnScakcs is a relatively unknown engine. Well, certainly I had not heard of it before this tournament, even though it's been around for like 5 years or something like that. And it's actually done pretty well. It's done pretty well. Had a few scalps along the way, and it went unbeaten actually in the 10th World Computer Rapid Championships in 2016. So it might be a bit of a rapid specialist. And AnnScakcs apparently determines sliding piece attacks ray-wise. So that's the classical approach. And it uses magic bit boards to speed the attack calculations. And magic bit boards are some algos that I don't fully understand because I'm not a programmer. So there you go. Okay, guys. Plato the Potato says, wow, I caught the first game. You did, sir. Well done. You did catch the first game. We've got a very positional game here. Mood Seller says, I thought Stockfish was the GOAT. Stockfish is the GOAT. It is the GOAT. It's white here in this position, but it's going to be really interesting to see. You can see here the world rankings. This is number 1 and AnnScakcs number 12. And you can see here Stockfish 6 minutes 13, AnnScakcs 6 minutes 10. So it's going to be interesting to see. Is the competition of computers specially programmed for chess? Yes, so basically this is exclusively a computer chess championships because it's interesting to let the computers face off against each other to see if an unknown computer has come around and takes the throne. Stockfish has been number 1 for many years now. I guess the most interesting question for laymen like me is, if we look at an engine like LCO, and LCO is coming up a little bit later on, with LCO, which is a self-taught program, which is what AlphaZero is all about, is that actually just going to rise to the top and be a dominant force in computer chess? Because once that starts to happen, then, well, where's the limit of self-learning and AI? And I will make a few corrections. Thank you very much, sir. It's LC0, not LCO. Apologies for that, LC0. And these aren't the world rankings, 12 and 1. These are actually the tournament seedings. So Stockfish is seeded number 1 and AnnScakcs is seeded number 12. Apologies again for that. Completely new to this myself, but it's quite interesting watching these guys play each other. Bink Poker says, humans are entirely, I'll not say that word against computers though. Yes, I mean, if Magnus Carlsen was to play against one of these machines in a 10-minute match, I would expect Magnus probably to lose 10 out of 10. Lady Macbeth says King's Crusher has done many great videos on Leela chess. Very interesting. Leela chess, another competitive. Uh, Leela chess is LC. That's another main. So Leela chess is going to be really interesting to see that. But I will start pronouncing it correctly with LC0. And got some more information here about LC0. The 0 means it learned chess with 0 human data. I didn't get any fed with GM games or any human. It just, right, precisely. So the reason why it's called LC0 is similar to AlphaZero is because it's self-taught. It was shown the moves and the rules, but there's been no Grandmaster games, nothing like that. The way it works, it just plays millions upon millions of games against itself until it works out the best strategy via some kind of process where, deduction. Again, I don't know the terminology for it in computer language, how it works, but clearly it just plays millions and millions and millions and millions of games against itself until it works out what it thinks is best. Reinforced learning or something of that nature. The Real Greco says, I'd love to hear about the ideas for both sides in this position. So let's get to the actual chess game. AnnScakcs has just played a move which makes one idea quite simple. He's targeting a bit of a weak pawn here on a5. And the question is, how is Stockfish going to deal with that? Is he going to play b4, just hitting the rook and protecting the pawn? Is there a case to go, yeah, I was going to say, is there a case to move the knight? I like this move, knight d1, very much. The knight sometimes finds its way to e3, and now it allows white to actually expand on the queen side with c4. So, for example, in this position here, a move like knight e3 or c4 comes to mind, also stopping black from ever breaking. But instead, he plays bishop e3 first. The rook will probably have to retreat to c6, and then I would expect the human move would be to play c4. But of course, these are not humans, these are machines. So it's going to be really interesting to see the moves here. Yes, it's all to do with neural networks, machine learning, and it's all very tough to talk about if you haven't actually studied this stuff. The funny thing, of course, and I'll give you a bit of an insight here, is that I'm actually very good friends with Demis Hassabis, who is the founder of Google DeepMind. I have known Demis for many years now, and even when I was at the London Chess Classic this year, commentated over at Google DeepMind. It was my second year there. And what he's done and what they are trying to do is fantastic. You'll probably be aware of the fact that DeepMind just produced I believe it was an AI for playing StarCraft, which in terms of complexity is something to the 1000th power compared to chess, which I find extraordinary. And my understanding is that actually they thought it was completely impossible for AI to play a multi-dimensional video game like StarCraft. But seems like they are there, and my understanding is it did very well. Of course, the step before that and the step before AlphaZero was AlphaGo, where Go, which is 10 times to the power more complex than chess. Well, AlphaGo managed to defeat one of the top Go players in the world, and I remember watching that every day. Actually, it took place very early in the morning, and I got up for it. And I've always been fascinated by Go, although I've never learned it. But to see what AlphaGo actually managed to do was quite extraordinary. Fon Zakari says Go is more complex than chess. Absolutely, by about the 10th power, something along those lines. just because of uh, the number of permutations, because of the greater space, very deep. And they tell me that Go is an extremely intuitive kind of game where having spatial awareness is critical. Um, so it's quite interesting. So in this position, we see that Stockfish eventually did go c4, grabbing hold of this d5 square, which is excellent. The bishop came today, and now bishop e3. So what's really interesting is that black can, of course, take this pawn on a5. Rook takes a5, queen takes a5, and then I guess white's idea would be to snag this pawn back on d6, so white doesn't lose a pawn. Yeah, and it was called Alpha Star, actually, the AI that played the StarCraft. Bing Poker says, what is Go? Go and check it out on Google. Type in Go game. It's a game where you place stones in a, I don't even know how many by how many it is, a square, and the idea is to gain territory by sort of capturing your opponent's stones. Your name is Mitsua says, even the original StarCraft game had bots that one could play against. It's not surprised they are letting AI have it. Right. And wow, look at this. After rook takes a5, b4 by Stockfish. So a pawn sacrifice here. And again, sorry to harp on about AlphaZero, but it is really interesting because comparing the styles of play of these machines is really very, very, very interesting. And AlphaZero, I really suggest you all go and get that book. Let me just go and Google the name of it because I've forgotten. It's called Game Changer, precisely. It's called Game Changer. It's available now from all the major chess bookshops. I've got my copy. It hasn't, as I said, quite appeared yet. And it goes deep into many unpublished games by AlphaZero, learning about its new techniques. And yeah, I mean, it's already like going to win the English Chess Federation Book of the Year award for sure. So go and get that book. Meanwhile, in the chess, yeah, and you know, talking about AlphaZero and the way it plays, it's just it plays like Michal Tal on steroids. It plays like an old romantic grandmaster, sacrificing pawns and pieces. But what for me stands out most about AlphaZero is its knack for appreciating and truly understanding long-term compensation for sacrifice material. It's something that, you know, as humans is something that we've tried to do, but it goes that one step further. It really does an incredible job of being able to sacrifice pawns, pieces, and not to show the immediate compensation, or at least not to the human eye, but over certain moves, over time, slowly but surely, it manages to convert these positions. It's quite astonishing. And look what we have here in the game. Wow, we have had a queen sacrifice here by AnnScakcs. Beautiful. And he's going to win basically two pieces for the rook. He'll play knight takes f1, king takes f1, and b takes c6. He's going to have two pieces for the rook, central control and activity. And I wonder just how good this is. Stockfish still seems to think he's doing well here. But let's have a look. Knight takes f1, you have to take that off, you would have thought. King takes f1. Maybe queen b2 exists as well, but he doesn't. King takes f1. You have to go b takes c6 here. AnnScakcs will be playing that move. And I wonder how this game is going to turn out because, you know, black to the human eye looks as though he's got fantastic compensation. Really interesting. In the vote here, it looks as though most people voted for a 17 for a Stockfish win with the white pieces. 5 very optimistic people voted for an AnnScakcs win with the black pieces. Very interesting. Fonza Curry says, Lawrence from Arabia. That isn't that original, bro. That isn't that original. How is it possible that these engines have so many different evaluations? 5 for a draw. I beg your pardon. That's for a draw. Nobody bet that black would win this, which is quite interesting. Grayish draw. Got it. Got it. I want to say that, wow, and look at this. Rook takes g3 here. What? What did he just do? No. Wow, look at this move, guys. Look at this move. No human in their right mind would take this off. He now gives up the rook. Rook takes g3, f takes g3, and c takes d5. And he's claiming that he has enough compensation here. This is extraordinary. That is extraordinary. Look at this move. No human in the world would consider this move. Rook takes pawn, and then just to take here. That is an unbelievable idea. And that's what's so beautiful about watching these computers. Now, that's not to say that this move is, you know, really, really strong. But just to have the idea of playing that move is quite extraordinary. And basically, Fonzagari said, well, how is it possible that both engines have a different evaluation? Well, that's the whole point. That's the whole point. If they had the same evaluation, it'd be boring. They'd be playing the same lines. But the point here is that the engines are different. They look at different components of a position. They look at in terms of depth in a different way. I mean, this AnnScakcs, the way he's playing, looks definitely more like an AlphaZero type game here, sacrificing pieces for what looks like, I mean, let's do a counter here. White's got a queen, rook, and knight against a bishop, rook, and knight, and a bishop. I mean, on paper, it just looks crushing for white. But at the same time, black's pieces have got this opportunity to spring into action here. And it's not clear at all how to win this. And they're saying in the chat on Computer Chess Championship that SF's PV looks like an Andy fortress. So is that I'm going to have to get PV, what that stands for. Is that we'll try and get somebody in chat to tell me what principal variation. Got it right. Principal variation or preferred variation. Got it. So it's saying that Stockfish's preferred variation in this line is just a fortress. So this is absolutely brilliant stuff if this works out. And now AnnScakcs, look at this. AnnScakcs has now flipped its evaluation to -1. This is truly extraordinary. At the moment, AnnScakcs thinking that it's around a pawn advantage up and that Stockfish is around a pawn advantage up. So both on opposite ends of the spectrum in terms of their evaluation, which is, you know, the reason why it makes this competition so rich is that we're seeing engines, different kinds of engines, appreciate different kinds of positions differently. It's quite extraordinary, quite extraordinary. And Stockfish here with 1 minute 58 and Rook A1, D takes E4 is on the board. Oops, no, we've had a lot more. Rook A6, Bishop H3, and this is where we're at. We've had a whole bunch of moves. We're just going to get to the current position here, where again, AnnScakcs has only got two two pieces for the queen. He's going to take on b4 with check here, no doubt. And now its evaluation has come back to slightly better for white, but nothing more than that. We will thank Ganic Chess here for the raid. Thank you so much. And if you're enjoying this commentary, guys, remember to check out my own channel. I stream most days, mostly chess, sometimes some other games, but mostly chess. And I do it on twitch.tv/Trentosk. That's TRENTOSK. Make sure you get over to my channel, follow the channel, because I do a lot of streaming and it's a bit more playful, let's say, my style of streaming. A lot more banter. I play against users. I do challenges. And actually this week, very important announcement. I'm going to be on the Twitch front page doing a very fun stream with none other than Bigfoot, who was just on before me, and the Ginger GM Simon Williams, and we are going to have a very, very fun stream, and that is Tuesday evening, I believe, at 8 o'clock Central European time. So make sure you follow me, and you'll be able to, to hang out. So we now have this very interesting endgames, where black has still got these two pieces and two pawns for the queen. So material-wise, it's actually very, very close, and it looks as though that black is going to create some kind of fortress here. And I expect this game actually to end in a draw, where even if the white knight was traded for one of the black pieces, I think that black can erect basically an impregnable structure where the white queen and the white king cannot actually influence play. So really interesting stuff by AnnScakcs. Fonzacari says, Trent, you were in Magnus's team. No, I was in Fabiano's team. I was Fabiano Caruana's manager for a couple of years. We're still on very good terms, and I wish him all the best. Nelson Moore says that is before Pro Chess League. I don't know the exact times of Pro Chess League, but I would guess so. Why didn't white use the check to win the bishop? I'm not sure exactly when that was, but there will be a reason for it. Let's have a look here. Aaron, I don't think he could have. He didn't have a chance. He didn't have a chance, Aaron, to win the bishop there. What is Central European time? Good question. I don't know, maybe the time in the center of Europe? At the moment, it's 9:33. Don't worry, buddy. We've all made... I actually played chess today. Serious game of chess. Played in the Bundesliga North division. And had a very, very tough game, which I won after 6.5 hours. And I had a heartbreaking game yesterday where I lost after 6.5 hours in a position which was a lot trickier than it seemed. So chess is just incredibly difficult. Of course, long play chess, totally different to this. But it looks as though, you know, AnnScakcs is just holding his own here. Really does. You know, white moving his queen around, but really nothing to be done here. And AnnScakcs correctly just sitting tight and saying to white, well, come and show me what you got. But I mean, the black piece is working beautifully together, and my money definitely is on a draw here. So those 5 people who guessed the draw, well done to you guys, because I think that's what's going to happen. And Nice Cream in the chat nicely informs us that games longer than 50 moves with no pawn moves or captures for 20 ply, that's a depth of 20, and score within plus or minus 0.09 pawns will be ruled a draw. So it means that these computers just aren't playing forever, which is good news for us. Really nice question here from Aran Hawaii. He says, do engines seek perpetuals or stalemates, whatever, when they know they're losing? And apparently, Nick Barton says they don't. Shout out everybody to Nick Barton, a new member of the chess.com team, and somebody who I had the pleasure of talking to today. And he is going to be a man you see a lot more of as we go down the esports route. He's going to be in charge of all esports content, and he will be organizing a lot of the events and event planning, and it's bringing a wealth of experience to the team. So chess.com, very fortunate to have Nick, and with a computer background as well, so probably knows a lot more about these things than I do. So make sure you give a shout out and a warm welcome to Nick, and chess.com going places in the esports world. Percy Hepworth, nice to see you here, man. How you doing? Do computers click their pens and eat sweets in wrappers to annoy their opponents? And do they get drunk in Telford High Street after the game? Percy, I don't think they do. I don't think they do. Although I tell you what, after losing after 6.5 hours yesterday, effectively costing our team survival in the league, I felt like doing that. But you know, I was just so exhausted that I just didn't even do it. And as you can see in the game, not much going on here at all, guys. It is just a fortress, and I think it's been a beautifully played game by AnnScakcs to find this. Here's a moment. Is AnnScakcs going to take this knight? What? Oh, it's check. Excuse me. It's check. I was going insane. Is he going to take this knight? I can't right-click now for some reason. I was able to draw arrows before. There you go. Stockfish finding a perpetual there. The real Greco's put in a link. And he did take the knight, and he's basically saying, doesn't matter that you've got this pawn on g5, even if you get your queen to f6, there's no way to make progress. I can put my bishop on e6. And yeah, looks like there's a perpetual coming, king f1, bishop d4, and that would mean that it's a draw. Check. And check. And we may very well get a draw here, guys. If king f2, bishop d4 check, I wonder if that's when the mods will step in king f1. Okay. Can you give another check here? No, he just goes back, bishop d4, and says, come on, show me what you got. Beautiful layout here, guys, on chess.com/CCC. And Behard the Bonobo says, Andy evaluation much better than Stockfish's. Stockfish makes Leela look more accurate. Right. To make progress, Stockfish needs to capture, and it only has the king, queen, which can capture. So basically, it's saying that, you know, the evaluation from Stockfish is just garbage because Um, it doesn't have any pieces to capture with. And apparently the AnnScakcs uh, appreciates or understands these positions better than Stockfish. Understands maybe fortresses, basically. That that the black position can't be breached. There's no levers to open up the black position here, so it is just a draw. Lighty says, stupid question, why does the king to g2 not work? Well, it just doesn't achieve anything. It just doesn't do anything. White cannot quite simply improve his position. The black king goes back to g8 here, and you can move around king g8, king h7. You could actually just move this king back and forth like so forever, and there's just no way for white to improve because white cannot actually get the king around. The black covers these squares. Black covers all of these squares. So the white king actually can't get in. Even if it gets to b1 and black puts his bishop on e6, there's no way for the white king to make... If the white king could magic its way up the board and then come round here, it'd be winning. But there's actually just no way for the king to do that. If black keeps his bishop here, covering this diagonal and this diagonal, white can't cross those lines. So black can now just move the king around and there's nothing to do. It's just a draw. Percy Hepworth says, I remember traveling around Germany for work 25 years ago. Showing your age there, Percy. And treated myself to a Mephisto chess computer. I remember those. It was 150 ECS strength. That's about 1700 FIDE, or 1800 FIDE. I thought it was the ultimate chess machine. It was. Didn't Kasparov have his own chess computer as well? I think he did. We need an adjudication, guys. Get the mods to step in. Otherwise, we're just going to be watching them go round in circles. The time control is 10 minutes plus 10 seconds, Captain Resco. Lawrence, is piece activity the most dominant factor for all chess engines? Well, that's a good question, Vons, because, is it piece activity? Is it material? As you can see with AnnScakcs in this game, it was very much about, can they foresee fortresses and long-term compensation? All kinds of things factor into these things. It looks as though this is drawn. 6-man table-based positions are adjudicated, but we're not in a 6-man table base yet, are we? We're not in a 6-man. We're not there yet, I don't think. I mean, we're 45 minutes in, guys, and I said that we're gonna. I mean, the problem is that, according to my notes, that this game should only last 45 minutes. Perhaps I can get confirmation about that. I'm not sure what the next game is actually going to be, because they've spent so long on this game. Are we going to have a reversed colors here? I guess we are. I guess we're going to have AnnScakcs against Stockfish and then LCO against Laser. I think those are the matches. So I think we're going to have AnnScakcs with the white pieces next. And the chat going wild for Andy AnnScakcs. Super happy with how it's playing. soon the 50 move rule will have to come in. And apparently, according to Nick, nobody was expecting AnnScakcs to put up this good a fight. So that's really interesting. And remember, guys, before the next match kicks off, you can go and vote and try and pick the correct result. Now, 5 people will be very happy to know that they will be correct on this one, because AnnScakcs simply cannot make a mistake. This is one of those positions where a mistake is impossible to make, because AnnScakcs has already established the fortress. So 5 people have correctly guessed that this is going to be a draw. And remember, there are cash money prizes. If you can guess the results of each game, matchup, I should say, game over the entirety of this competition, the person who guesses the most correctly, or second or third, will win cash prizes. So make sure you get voting, guys. And I'm praying that this ends very soon, because we're going round in circles here. And AnnScakcs' creator, Daniel Jose Queralto, candidate master himself, and a promoter of the Catalan Wikipedia, specifically on topics related to chess, mathematics, and computer science. Wow. Very, very, very talented guy. Apparently, he's also represented Andorra at 11 chess Olympiads, which is a huge amount considering they take place so infrequently. So, a real chess lover. I don't think I've met him. I've been to Andorra, by the way. I've been to Andorra. I played the Andorra Open in 2013, and I actually won the best game prize over there. I wonder if Daniel Jose was around at the time. One of my favorite games. A game that would not be approved by the engines, I can tell you that. Xuma Sametea says, hey Lawrence, how long is the show today? I'm going to be on for about another hour and 15 minutes, covering 3 matches today. The first match we can see here, Stockfish against AnnScakcs. The second match will be Colors Reversed. And then the third match I'm going to be covering is between LC0 and Laser. And I'll talk more about that when we come to it. Let's see, that's very interesting. So there is actually a move counter here, 32 of 50. So about 17 more moves before the game is agreed to draw, basically. Which is excellent news.
But they are.
And 33 of 50 now. Stockfish probably sees mate in 5469, says pure indication, not true. This is a stone cold draw, and they're playing out the 50 moves, basically. That's what's going on. Oh God, We got the real Greco says everyone just praise AnnScakcs bishop g4 to stop the pawn push. I actually am questioning that if, let's say, you know, king here, bishop here, Stockfish got stubborn and played g4, whether after h takes g4 actually it would then give black winning chances. Probably would. So that's just not going to happen. Yeah, so that's the misconception here, pure education. That's what the chat is going on about. That basically Stockfish gives an advantage of 1.59 here, but we can see AnnScakcs give us an evaluation of just plus 0.01, i.e. dead equal, because AnnScakcs has got a better understanding of what a fortress is compared to Stockfish, apparently. This is quite interesting. Black can just place the bishop on e6 and move the king around. That's precisely what's been going on. We're on 37 of 50 here, guys. So, 13 more moves to go until a draw is agreed. What do you think in chat? Should I have a bite of a banana or not? I'll be honest, I played 6.5 hours of chess today. I had a dreadful night's sleep last night because I was just tormented from the previous day's loss. So I couldn't sleep. And also, during all of this, here's a little side story. I've been long Bitcoin from 34.25 USDs. So I get up at 10 o'clock this morning, check the price, it's $4,100. Everybody's happy. My position's looking great. We're making bank. My game goes on for 6 hours. I get out my game at 4 o'clock, turn on my phone, and I get a rush of alerts saying that Bitcoin has just dumped 8% and wiped out half my profits. So to put this in layman's terms, had I finished my chess game in a normal amount of time, let's say 4 hours, would have saved myself a ton of money. The world conspires, guys. The world conspires. I wonder if actually, given that this is a stream for computer scientists and people interested in computers and the digital world, what they think of digital currencies and the future of digital cash. Is there a future? Would be curious to hear your thoughts for sure. Very curious. Greg TF2 just says, I just wrote a paper on BTC's Bitcoin's Lightning Network. There you go. Bitcoin is a nice idea, ultimately a huge waste of energy. There was an article out actually very recently about the extent to which energy consumption is a problem with mining Bitcoin. So, yeah, I mean, that is an issue for sure. That being said, I don't think printing US dollars or other currencies is exactly the most environmentally friendly of processes. I'm curious to know. We're at move 44 of 50 in this game. It will end in a draw once they get there. The evaluation is dropping because they're starting to realize that you cannot do anything. Pyro Luke says, to make your day, have the satisfaction of knowing that I'm already 5 hours into your latest attacking DVD. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. It's good news. That is good news. There is an increment, of course, Nelson Moore, absolutely. Without an increment, it would be quite interesting without an increment, to be honest. But don't know. Pyro Luke, how are you finding the series? 47 of 50 played here. Yeah, if they push the pawn, I'm leaving. If Stockfish pushes that pawn, I'm leaving, guys. See you later. I'm afraid to say. I'm sad to say I'm on my way. Won't be back for many a day. Oh, it got to 0.00. That's good news. Took a while for it to get to that evaluation, though, which is quite interesting, actually. I'm going to have a banana. Oh, no! It didn't just do that. It didn't just do that. Tell me it didn't just do that. Well, I was scheduled to commentate on Wednesday too, but I might have to have a word with my overlords. Oh, come on, man. Oh, now what am I going to have to do? I'm going to have to tell stories to you guys? Can somebody not step in? Where's the referee? This is crazy. They're both at 0.00. I'm having a banana. Stories? Goodness. My brain is about as soggy as that banana tonight, so I'm not sure about stories. I'm just going to get some confirmation whether somebody's going to step in here because they're both at 0.00 and the depth is very very deep. So I think they're just going to basically call it a draw very soon. I'll move 120, they're saying, so 5 more moves. But it's quite interesting to watch these guys, right? It's quite interesting to watch these dudes. And 3 more moves to go. Just 3 more moves, guys. That's all it takes. Black looks winning, if anything. I'd agree, Pyro. I'd be terrified as white in a real game here. Absolutely terrified to play this position. Should be 2 more moves, according to some people. We are the robots as we have no emotions. It's true. We have no emotions. We are just like these dudes playing. Oh, I am curious as to whether actually moving this pawn up 1 square would actually lose to black. So let's say black just got rid of this e-pawn, put his bishop on g7 and king on h7. And we do finally have a draw. Now, guys, that means that you will have 30 seconds here to guess the result of the next match, which is AnnScakcs with the white pieces against Stockfish. So make sure you get your votes in. You can see the vote is now available. You've got 1 minute. 1 minute. And you will be able to Where is the vote available? You've got to go to chess.com/CCC and you'll see there the little dashboard with the vote tab. 24 seconds to go. Who are you going to vote for? Can I vote? Oh, I can vote. Do I go for an AnnScakcs win here? Let's go for an AnnScakcs win. Let's do it. I wonder how many people have voted for an AnnScakcs win. Always bet draw is, of course, the absolute GTO method, for sure. Five people bet on an AnnScakcs win. 53 people voted for a draw, and 38 people voted for a Stockfish win with the black pieces. Very interesting. A lot of votes, over 100. Let's go. Let's go. Who were the other five people that voted AnnScakcs? Make yourselves known. I want to know what kind of company I keep. Make yourselves known. Who voted for the AnnScakcs win? Are we insane? Betting against Stockfish. We've got to be right. D4906 on the board. The real Greco voted for Andy. I think we call him Andy, right? Rather than AnnScakcs. That's his sort of the affectionate term. Okay, D4906 C4. And Stockfish goes to the very classical 2E6. And what is Andy going to do here? Knight F3. Okay. Very good. Playing at a leisurely pace in the opening. Where is Alpha Zero? Purification says, well, we do not have Alpha Zero, but we do have LC0 coming up. LC0 is Leela Chess Zero playing against Laser. Get the Laser. Laser, who I don't know much about. Laser has been developed by Michael Ann and Jeffrey Ann, both students in California, I guess. And in terms of how this competition, how stage 2 is starting out, basically it looks as though it's favorites against the underdogs in the competition. Stockfish, which was seeded number 1, against AnnScakcs, seeded number 12. And Laser against Leela Chess, who's going to be number 2, I guess, versus Laser. So it's going to be, and very different styles of engine. Of course, Leela Chess, self-taught, and Laser Chess is a open source. So, and both the programmers are computer science, math, and chess enthusiasts attending college in California. That will be coming up a bit later. Actually, immediately after this game, I should say. AnnScakcs is now number 1 for some reason. I guess that's because he drew with black against the number 1 player. Oh, I'm saying Leela? I meant Leela. I've got Eric Clapton on the mind. How much money do you think the top player would pay to have access to Alpha Zero, guys? Because of course everybody's got access to Stockfish. But let's say Magnus Carlsen was presented with the opportunity of having Alpha Zero for an unlimited amount of time. How much money, how much value do you think that would be? Magnus or Fabiano, or one of the world's top 10 players. Curious to think about what you think. $10,000? $9,000? $5 in a six-pack? Chat is getting creative. 10 million. That sounds about right. I would actually pay 10 million for Alpha Zero. But I would feel like that's too much of a discount, actually. I'd have to pay a bit more. How much ELO they would gain? Is it about how much ELO they would gain, or is it about just how many new ideas it would bring to the table, right? If you had Alpha Zero there preparing for a world championship, it would be worth, I would say, in my honest opinion, that if somebody fighting for the world championship match had the opportunity to pay for Alpha Zero, that would be worth definitely six figures. I imagine at least 100,000 US, because I just think that there are some ideas it would uncover. And remember, the World Championship prize is $1 million and more, so you're getting 10 to 1 on your money. And if it can increase your performance by 10%, which that might just about be the margin you need to win the championship, then I think that's what it would take. Vu Jazzman says, oh, there is a commentator. Yeah, on the Chess TV stream. Come on over, Vu Jazzman, to the chess.com twitch.tv/chess stream. And as Nelson Moore says, Lawrence Trent here commentating. We have a Petrosian variation here of the Queen's Indian, this position, a very well-known theoretical position. White has got this beautiful center, but it's a center which can often be attacked via a quick c5 move. This bishop is doing a good job, of course. The white pieces can castle. So it's a position from the white side that was a big favorite of Garry Kasparov in the 80s. Had some fantastic victories. I go and suggest you look at his game against Portish from, I think it was 84, about just how you can really start to utilize that central majority to then create huge attacking options against the Black King. Labour says, just being the champ for 2 years is worth at least 10 million. No. No way. Big Poker says, why is Nakamura only rated number 16 in the world, and why are ratings on chess.com not similar to FIDE ratings? Well, Hikaru had a very bad year from a classical chess perspective, dropped a lot of points. The reason why ratings on chess.com are not similar to FIDE ratings is they measure two totally different things. One is Blitz, one is FIDE, and just because of the sample size as well that you get playing on the chess.com server means that it simply cannot be the same. I mean, you're just playing, the variance is greater, and you're just playing many, many more games. So that's the reason why, yeah, he's rated over 3,000 on chess.com and 2,800 on he's not even 2,800, is he, in FIDE? So castle's 96, and now this move d5. This is excellent. This is very much Kasparov Portish, guys. I would actually. Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take the liberty to actually look at this position and see if it is Kasparov-Korsic, precisely that game. Let's have a look, because I am curious. So it was a Queen's Indian. Look at this, guys. You don't, talk about bringing in the big guns for the commentary. You're even getting somebody who's looking up this stuff for you to get historical references. How lucky are you guys? CD5, knight d5, queen c2, knight c3, bc3, bishop e7, e4, castles, bishop d3, c5. Let's have a look. Kasparov-Kramnik, 2004. Kasparov-Ribley, 1988. Castles. Yeah, and what's really interesting is that actually after Castles, I was thinking, I know this position after Castles because I looked at playing this against somebody, and one of the main moves here is to play this move Queen c8 to then try and exchange these light squared bishops off, because this bishop is such a powerful piece. But Knight c6 played very rarely, only 72 times by just a handful of grandmasters, and d5 looks like a brute force way to continue. Let's see what Stockfish thinks of this, though. ED5, because if Knight c6 is playable, then this actually completely revives. And this is the other great thing about somebody like me who's, a recreational chess player nowadays. But, in this position here, I'd never seen the move Knight c6. I'd only seen Queen c8 to try and exchange his bishop. So Knight c6, d5 looks very dangerous. This is why it isn't played, because you give up this pawn, the bishop comes back, and now, bada bing, bada boom, Knight d4, hello. What a move. What a move. Of course, if c takes d4, queen takes e4. So AnnScakcs decides to take on d4 with the knight. Queen takes e4. I guess the queens are going to come off. And black is just going to be better. Right? What a move. Knight c6. Karen Gregorian played it, though. ED5 to queen in the Badalona Open. So maybe he looked at it before. Mark Erwich. There's a name I haven't heard for a long, long time. Dutch player. Mark, I haven't probably played for something in the region of 20 years. Beat Vladislav Tkachev with this line. So there you have it, guys. There you have it. Queen takes e4 indeed on the board, and after bishop takes e4, AnnScakcs giving the evaluation of plus 0.01. I don't see it myself. I don't see it myself. Stockfish already hitting some table bases. Yeah, that's pretty sick that it's getting to table bases from here already, because, I mean, there are a million pieces left on the board. Rookie one. That's the reason why. That's the reason why this all works. And yeah, there's just going to be a mass liquidation somehow. Is it going to be f5, f3, or is he going to go knight e6 here? Gonzo Chess, I'm not bored out of my mind, actually, as I just demonstrated there with that Queen's Indian game. Far from bored out of my mind. This is exciting. This is an exciting Sunday evening for me. I mean, I could be, making millions of dollars buying Bitcoin, or commentating on brute force. No, I'm joking. So anyway, that Bitcoin story is an unfortunate one. So actually playing chess today cost me a fortune. Yeah, and they're saying Stockfish has already decided it's a draw by force, which is sick, of course. Absolutely sick. Rook takes e4, and we're going to get a draw. Let's see how. Speculation is fun. You're right, it's fun. Speculating is fun, guys. You got to speculate to accumulate. No gamble, no future. I've got a bad feeling that the market is just primed to just be blown out the water, and I don't mean in a good way. I've just got a feeling that we are on the verge of a magnificent, huge shakedown. This is not financial advice, guys. And here is the uh, table base that we're talking about. Rook takes bishop will be played, then rook f8. And Stockfish has already analyzed this out to 0.00. So this is going to end in a draw, guys, almost certainly. Barring an absolute meltdown. One question I've got for all of you guys who watch computer chess more than me, because as I said to you before, I don't watch much of it. Has there ever been just a monumental meltdown in a position where a computer has basically said this is a table-based draw, or it's just a draw? Have there been instances where the computer has just gone nuts? So at the moment, Stockfish is actually a pawn down, but has got very active rooks. And the problem that Andy has got here with white is that if you ever commit to f3, then you weaken this second, so you have to go rook f1. And now the question is Stockfish just going to try and hit a few pawns here on the queen side? And it feels like mass liquidation is inevitable here, basically. Leela versus Penguin GM. Leela does it all the time, apparently. Interesting. I'm going to have a look at this game, where Leela apparently just went nuts and blew a perfectly reasonable position. Let's have a look at this. Okay. Well, I don't know which move I'm looking at, though. It just says white is crushing here. I'll have to look up that Leela versus Penguin GM game as well at some point. Anyway, I will have a look at that another time when I'm not trying to concentrate on this. So rook takes e3 has happened, and we're going to get basically, rook takes b6, rook takes a3, 3 against 3, but very weak pawns, and nothing really to be done here. Meanwhile, is Bitcoin going to just bounce back over into the channel, guys? We're hoping for a close tonight above 38.26, 38.10 to have some kind of hope that we're just not going to get dumped on. You know? That's the hope. And we now have Stockfish with his rooks as doubled on the 7th, aka the blind swine. Leila defends, Andy defends with rook g5. And apparently the game that the Real Greco posted to me was a game where there were 5 queens on the board, and Leila really struggled with that one, which is quite interesting. So still struggles in the super rare instances. Yeah, this game, nothing really much to commentate on. 2 pawns against 2. And a position where yeah, I mean, had the white rook gone here, the black rook can just intercept, and of course this is just a well-known book draw. So again, it's quite tedious to watch two computers because even if white wins this pawn by force, which he does, rook and two against rook and one on the same side is just a stone cold draw. And Stockfish won't even allow that because he'll put the pawn on to a. Oh, maybe he can't avoid it actually. Rook g4, a3, rook g3. Yeah, actually he can't avoid it. a3 and rook g3. And actually there you can move the king. And if rook takes a3, you've got rook takes g2 check, rook takes g2, and rook takes a3. Where I hope the mods step in. And after this, we're going to have one more game that I'm going to be commentating on for this evening. But I will be back on Wednesday. But the next game I'm going to be commentating on is between two new engines, Leela Chess 0 against Laser. Leela Chess with the white pieces. Should be interesting. Enough trades and we do get a 6-man table base adjudication. That's right. So if a pair of rooks and a pair of pawns come off, we do get just a draw. 2, 4. Oh man, that's 7. Oh man, we're gonna get that, guys. We're gonna get that. And unfortunately, as I say, nothing too exciting to talk about here. It's just you know, just a dead draw, basically. Stockfish plays rook f8. Layla's going to take the pawn. Andy's going to just keep on saying Layla. Andy is going to take the pawn on a3, and then it's just and as the real Greco says, and this is something that is really horrific for me, is that in their PVs they both have 7 pieces, not 6. So we can't get a draw by adjudication. Which means, guys, if you guys are just tuning in and you're like, what's going on? What the hell is this? AnnScakcs is going to play on rook and 2 pawns against rook and pawn, which is a very well-known theoretical draw, but cannot be adjudicated as a draw because the only adjudications that can take place are with 6 men left. This will be 7 men. And I am not going to even utter a word about the position because I refuse to talk about a theoretically drawn position played by 2 superhuman computer engines. Refuse, flat out. We can talk to chat, we can talk about all kinds of stuff, but I'm not going to be talking about rook and 2 against rook and 1 on the same side. And I want to make sure that something is pointed out here. I keep on saying I hope the mods step in. They can't step in, okay? They don't step in. There are automated rules for adjudication. One of those being 6-men table bases. I was being facetious. And we do have that position here, guys. Rook and 2 against rook and 1. And I'll put it out there, even I would draw this position against Stockfish. I would draw it against AlphaZero, Stockfish, Leila, Andy, Fritz, if they were all huddled in a room together and had the computing power of the entire um, universe. Yeah, no, they'd beat me like all the time. Who am I kidding? They'd trick me. They would trick me. Actually, is it trickable? I'm not even sure it's trickable. That's the thing. Like if I put my, yeah, maybe. So maybe I was a bit optimistic going for an Andy win here with the white pieces. Draw was a good guess. Oh, there are losing moves for sure. Yeah, I'd get hustled. I'd get hustled, but all the king and pawn endings are drawn. That's the thing. Like, how can I even get hustled here? Probably would somehow. Would be funny if the computer just snatched a pawn while I wasn't watching. Stockfish has tricks. I mean, how can you have tricks? Like, let's say, for example, I put my rook on b3 here. Show me tricks. Like, for real, just show me tricks. g5, I go rook b5. g6, check king h6. Like, show me tricks, dudes. If I just put my rook on b3. I just don't even think there are tricks here. That's the funny thing. Problem is, Stockfish isn't in chat to show the tricks. Well, you know. Stockfish is taking its time here, though. It is taking its time. AnnScakcs with a big advantage on the clock. And as we can see there, both PVs with the same pawn structure. Yeah, still a dead draw. Would Stockfish play on rook against human? Like, what position would Stockfish just accept a draw in against me? Would it accept a draw, for example? I don't know. Um, does it just never accept a draw? Stockfish is a Stockfish is going to get flagged here if he's not careful. There's a setting for resigning, says the real Greco. But we don't let it here. Okay, interesting, interesting. So it doesn't know how to give up, basically. And again, the position itself here, I can't comment on because it's just uh, dead. Why is Kaiser not playing in the World Championship? Good question. I don't know who Kaiser is. So that's another engine. Perhaps you engine aficionados out there can tell me, are there any other engines that are up and coming that are going to make a big breakthrough soon? Are they self-taught, self-learning engines, or are they the brute force monster calculators? Tell me, guys, what is there any big movers and shakers in the computer chess world? I am curious. The real Greco says many Leela derivatives with different strategies and self-play. Five Card Draw says study the classic Lawrence. Kaiser was the first computer world champion in 1974. Sick. I actually do remember the name now. They can learn of correspondence chess games. Interesting. And where is the ceiling, guys? Where is the limit? That's what I want to know. Where is the limit? Where are these guys going to? Where is it all going to end? Is it all going to be solved one day? Is it already solved? Where are we with regards to the solving? You know? Again, people who are just tuning in, the position is uncommentable. It's 2 against 1 on the same side, which has been known as a draw for hundreds of years. But because there are 7 chessmen in the position and not 6, the which would be a table-based draw, by the way, um, the computers are playing on. Stockfish only with 10 seconds left, so he's going to be playing on increment. What happens if Stockfish flags here? Played with 1 second to go, guys. Is AnnScakcs going to be a dirty flagger? Get your dirty flagger emotes out. Guys and girls, get your dirty flagger emotes out. RTLE blank says, what's going on here? AnnScakcs has a chance, right? If by chance you mean, have you seen the film Dumb and Dumber? You know that moment where he says, so do I have a chance? And she says, yeah, 1 in a million. But he says it's still a chance. That's the sort of chance we have. I would estimate probably actually not even a million because they're comps. I would estimate that AnnScakcs has precisely 0% chance to win this position. Poker commentator there with the dirty flag emote, nice. And engines can't flag, right? They just don't know how to flag. But you're saying there's a chance. Yeah, what is the I mean, so here's a serious question. I mean, type one in the chat if you are a developer, programmer, somebody who really understands this sort of stuff or worked or knows the subject very well. Type one in the chat. And the reason I'm asking is because of a very interesting topic that was just mentioned by uh, by I can't remember who it was actually. I have to scroll up, but about swindling, whether there would be a setting, basically a setting to increase swindling chances, or is there just no such thing as a swindle in computer chess? Basically, playing a move which objectively looks terrible, but we know it as a swindle. Is there a chance? I don't know if that works. Maybe swindle is just a human term, right? Swindles don't exist in computer land, right? Because it's either a good move or a bad move. Yeah, Stockfish with 1 second here. He's going to have the arrow at 5, 4, 3, 2. And it just manages to play in time, doesn't it? Who would have thunk it? It would be cool, but probably too much to program. And as the real Greco says, I assume swindles are for humans. Computers don't get excited and make mistakes that way. Yeah, that's the point. A swindle is very much a psychological thing that is human, right? And this position not getting any more exciting, guys. 33 moves until a draw, which might take me. Let me just check what's going on here. Andy now, yeah, up to 0 plus 40. Stockfish is just like, no, this is dead level. Interesting. Captain Resco says Stockfish's evaluation is just a flat 0 for move 10. Absolutely sick. Just worked it all out. And people asking in the Computer Championship Twitch chat, why haven't the table-based adjudications kicked in? Because it is still 6 men, not 7. Sorry, still 7 men, not 6. So until there are 6 men left on the board, they're not going to kick in, guys. So we just have to remember that, basically. Would be interesting if Stockfish flagged, though. That would be really funny. Lawrence, what chance this is actually a nightmare and you're not actually streaming? Um, pretty high chance. Pretty high chance I'm just going to wake up in my nice bed and I wouldn't have just blundered away that game 2 days ago. And, you know, there's a good chance. JB Boopit says, are they not programmed to just make a move when time is just about to run out? Um, yeah, they are programmed to do that. They are programmed to not run out of time. Uh, Andy now increasing his evaluation to 0.88. The other interesting thing about AlphaZero in terms of the evaluation story is, of course, that uh, AlphaZero believes in it gives itself percentage, right? A percentage chance of winning the position, which is a really interesting way of evaluating, right? So it says in this position, I've got 72% chance of winning, rather than giving +1, because the problem with +1, like we have here, is that there are so many +1 positions where actually there is 0% chance of winning the position, or close to zero, right? So the percentage evaluation um, feels a lot more. I don't know. It feels like it could be more, the way to go. This one, this feels a bit more arbitrary and a bit more, I don't know, less less effective, really. Leela also has the same percentage derived evaluation. Nice, which we'll see after this game because Leela is playing after this game. 33 of 50, 17 moves left. Hopefully, will be completed within the next 2 or 3 minutes. Else, I'll be as annoyed as the next man. Oh, we're down to 0.01 here for AnnScakcs. Only 14 more moves. The problem is they're taking so long per move that, that's actually like 8 minutes. After that, they play Armageddon. I don't think so. Oh God, there are 3 pawn moves. Don't do that. Don't do that to me, guys. But I am going to be signing off in 15 minutes, and the last game, if it hasn't started, you guys are going to have to navigate on your own, unfortunately, because made an agreement. Originally, this was going to kick off at 4:30 in the afternoon. It didn't, and it's already very much my bedtime. I am shattered, to say the least, and I think another hour of this tonight will be heartbreaking. So what will happen is on Wednesday, though, I've got a late session for you guys. My goodness, I'm going to be going through all the matches starting at 10 p.m. Central European time. I'm going to be cream crackered, guys. Cream crackered going through till 1 in the morning. Doo, doo, doo. Please don't move the pawn, dude. Don't do it, man. Oh, he moved the pawn. No, he moved the pawn. Another 50 moves, yes. Unfortunately. Another 50 moves. And I can tell you one thing. Oh, all right. We haven't got it. Guys, great news. Andy just gave the pawn up and it was agreed a draw. Excellent news. Nice. Nice, because it's a six-man. All right, so that means, guys, you're going to get me probably, I'll stay as long as it's not 2 hours long. The next game we've got Leela facing off against the relatively unknown Laser Leela chess with the white pieces. And I'm going to go for a Leela win because I don't know Laser. And look, we've already got a position here on the board, a Queen's Gambit here. Laser! Get the laser! Get the laser! So let's see if this game is a bit more interesting. And remember, guys, if you want to vote, you've got 15 seconds. You've got to literally type in chess.com/CCCC and go 10 seconds to go to vote on this game. And we can see Leela Chess here playing a relatively, quiet system against the Queen's Gambit declined. So far, pretty normal setup. Did we get one vote? We got one vote for Laser. Who is the sick human being that voted on a Laser victory here? I'm curious. Please tell me who it is. Please make yourself known. Who voted for Laser? Black Zero OP says me. Owner of the Laser, yeah. If he's here, please make yourself known. Please make yourself known. If you are the owner of Laser, I'd like to meet you. Tell me more about Laser. What is it that makes Laser special? Laser taking its time here already. Only got this move in its PV, which is like the most natural move in the world, knight bd7. Whereas Leela has already like gone 55 moves down and thinks white is 0.61 better than black, which is interesting. Knight c3 on the board. Normally you put the knight on d2 in these positions, so interesting that Leila puts the knight on c3 here. And at some moment, what Leila wants to do is break open with e4. That's the standard way of treating this position. Can you run it from the start of the game? I will do that very quickly. So we have Queen's Gambit declined with e3, which is, this move is not seen as critical at all. Just knight c3 for a mainline Queen's Gambit declined is normal. Or the move g3 here for a Catalan. e3 is seen as kind of toothless, but you can now develop the dark square bishop via fianchetto like this, and we get a very standard looking position here. And here Leila decides to go surprisingly for the move a4, which is Not what I expected. Yeah, and we can see there Layla's evaluation is creeping up. And Laser's like, lol, what did I do wrong? I've just given, uh, you know, just got my pieces out in a normal way. It's quite curious. Bishop b4 now by Laser. Very positional move. Is, and knight e5. Yep, makes a lot of sense. Layla's saying, well, if you take on e5, which I'm not allowed to do, I take back, and then I got this guy. And if you take on e5, knight takes d5 is a nasty attack against the black queen, so you can't take 3 times, basically. And h6. And now the question is Layla going to play a move like f4? F4 would, yeah, there you go. You see, I can play like a machine, dudes. I can play like a machine. Do the engines get to know the other's evaluations, and would that scare them? I guess they don't, right? I guess they don't. Plus, does it actually matter? Do you know what I mean? Maybe it just doesn't matter. Chess is not a fun game for beginners. It's a tricky one for beginners, that's for sure. Layla already down on the clock quite considerably. Leela. I keep on calling her Layla. Is it a she? I call her. I'm just going to call her LC0 because I keep on calling her Layla. I'm looking at her name, Leela, Layla. I mean, and I'll give you the problem I've got is it's my favorite Eric Clapton song, Layla. You got me on my knees, Layla. Leela, you got me on my knees. Layla, won't you ease my worried mind? Leela, you got plus 1.20 already. Wow. Hated that last move by Leela. It's just like, yeah, that move's bad. I guess now it's already seeing monster attacks here. Lawrence, do you prefer the acoustic or electric Layla? Acoustic. That said, I do like the electric version. I like them both, actually. I mean, but the acoustic version resonates more with me somehow. Brings me back to a place. So it was a great result before for Andy holding Stockfish. So really good stuff. Laser is dead here, says Outlash. Yeah, feels like feels like mate incoming. I'll be honest with you. I mean, this you don't want to give Leela the knight here. The rook's gonna swing. Queen's coming in. I mean, this feels very bad. And notice how the evaluations are so different, right? Laser only with the plus 0.6 and LC0 with 1.24. Yeah, Queen E7. This. I mean, we're looking at LC0's PV, and it looks like it's just mate somehow. Rook F3, and the Rook lift begins, guys. And C5 here by Laser. Interesting. Laser gives this as 3 zeros. And Leela's like, whatever, dude, you're just getting mated. Leela's evaluation is always inflated, apparently. Interesting. Interesting. Hello, Mr. Lawrence. How's it going? Hello, Fetty. How are you? Nice, man. Yep, looking at some computer chess. This is the last game for me tonight. Leela's got a bit of an ego, huh? Yep, I understand. Knight G4 next, maybe for white. Could be. Could be. Let's see what Leela's got. Playing really quickly. Super quick, right? Just like, doesn't care. But I love this rook lift. Very Alpha Zero-esque. Just getting that rook on the G file. Just look at this. The potential there is just, it's not a very long, it's not a very difficult diagonal to clear as well, which is exciting. Unless he's going to like take, and put a knight on e4, which would be sad. Oh god, he might just do it. He might just do it. Well, you've got to take back. He's going to do it. He's going to play knight e4. I don't know if now or on the next move. Difficult to say. And guys, if you haven't yet subscribed to the chess.com channel, Twitch, do it. Support the channel, support all of this content. It is very much part of the the focus of chess.com at the moment to grow its Twitch audience and Twitch channel, and support is welcome. In whatever way you deem fit. After all, it's a company like any other that needs its supporters. Same goes for me, by the way. If you feel like you want to support me and my efforts on Twitch, go over to twitch.tv/Trentosk. Follow, subscribe over there. Also looking to build my stream and my community and, entertain. Because I'm no good at playing, so I might as well entertain. Mr. Lawrence, are you going to attend European Individual Chess Championships held in Macedonia? I will not most likely be going. Although, no, I will definitely not be going. And bishop e4. So now we've got an interesting scenario with opposite colored bishops. And queen g4, of course. And now I guess Laser's going to play bishop g6. And then Leila's just going to run the h-pawn up the board, right? Or maybe play d5. If bishop g6, maybe you can just go d5. Put a pawn on d6. Let's see how, very curious to see how Leela actually deals with, and f5. Ooh, fruity. Maybe it was forced. Fetty just can't get there. There's time questions, all kinds of stuff, all kinds of reasons. Queen takes f6. Now what? Now what? You can't take on e4 because of mate, guys. So just to let you know, that's why you played h3. That's a very human move as well, by the way, giving the king some lift to go to on h2. So I guess bishop f5 will be played now by Laser. Just hitting this queen, and the queen will drop back probably to e2, I would have guessed. I don't think Laser's going to keep the bishop on the long diagonal. Also, only with 2 minutes 38 seconds left, by the way. Yeah, bishop f5 played. So Leela, for the first time, taking a bit of a timeout here, which is interesting. How far does it go in its PV? Like, incredible. 20 moves deep. Queen e2 has been played, so very human approach so far. And Laser thinking things are still fine. Thinking, no problem, bro. And Queen b2 setting up a pawn push on the long diagonal with d5 or d takes c5. So looks as though Layla's got all of her pieces in the right place still. Approaching the 2-minute mark here for Laser. I like Queen to b2. That's a nice move. Very nice. I like Leela. How do I get my hands on a Leela? Copy of Leela. To look at my games. Because I can already see she overestimates position. So it will make me feel better if I've got a good attack. It'll say, you know, you're actually winning here when in reality I'm not. It's a kind of an ego booster, having Leela as your engine. Maybe that's what Vladimir Kramnik was using. That's why he thought he was winning all the time, because he had all of these attacks that weren't actually winning. Well, you need a GPU for Leela to run very, very well. I don't think I have one. Yikes! Holy shit, they're dumping Bitcoin. They are dumping it off a cliff, guys. And we are going to get closed out very, very soon out of this position. I literally just clicked, got my ticker at the top. Whoa, just dumping it. Wow, they're just gross. It's just so gross how they're dumping it. It's just not holding, is it? They want it to die, guys. Wow. Literally the most sickening feeling. Can it ever hold here? Can it ever hold? Forget Leela. What about this price action? It went d5. Look at it. Look at it go. It's just like, yep. Gets a rook to e1 as well. Beautiful. I love it. I love how it plays chess. What's BTC these days? Well, it was 41.40 as I went in to play a game of chess this morning, and when I left it and turned on my phone, it was 37.70, and it's 37.60 now. And I had a long position from 34.25, which was making really good cash. We closed half our position, and now it looks as though it looks as though we're going to be closing the full amount because unless it just manages to hold overnight. Meanwhile, Leela is uh, trying to. And Wandering Winder says Caruana apparently did use Leela as part of his prep for the last World Championships. I have no idea. I will ask him. I will ask him actually. I'll ask him if he used Leela. I'd be curious to know if he did and what advantages Leela's got over the other engines out there. Svane says, please explain what's happening, who's playing the format. I've been on air for over 2 hours, Svanifar. So this is the Computer Chess Championships. This matchup is Leela versus Laser. Leela, the big favourite on paper. And this is stage 2 of the championships. So lots of chess being played, has been played already. And this will be my last match for the evening. We do have a very interesting position, though, I have to say. Queen c5 check on the board, 42 seconds only for Laser. I guess the king's going to go to h2, and when queen takes c4 happens, something is going to happen on g7, or maybe push d6 first. And this is kind of typical compensation that the AlphaZero self-learning machines, Leela being part of that crew, understand far better than humans, that after d6, that even though white doesn't take on g7 immediately and can even lose the a4 pawn, that white has still got a huge advantage. As you can see, Leela giving it 1.67. And coordination does mean something. You're absolutely right, the real Greco. The coordination means a lot here. They're just perfectly coordinated. And here, now white can actually break through. Bishop takes g7, rook takes d6, and this king looks awfully, awfully exposed here on h7. Rook d6, bishop e5. Leela playing instantly, putting a bit of, time pressure on Laser, which is really nice. Rook d5, okay. And now let's see how Leela manages to coordinate her pieces to further the attack here. Notice how this bishop is a glorious piece in the middle of the board, pointing everywhere, whereas its counterpart here on f5 not doing as much, and this king much safer. And king safety is a really important aspect of their play, right? So I think AlphaZero, Leela, and so on really give additional merit to safer kings, rather than just trying to brute force calculate whether it's mate or not. They both think that white is ahead at the moment. Rook e3 on the board, 33 seconds now for Laser. And I think you'd be mad to bet against Leela here, not converting this somehow. Queen d8. I mean, if you could ever bring a rook down to the back, that would be brutal. So that's why he went Queen c1, by the way. Leela obviously listening to my suggestions. Queen g5, and now if rook c8, the question is there some kind of rook takes e5 exchange sacrifice? Don't know. We'll soon find out. Let's see what Leela wants to do here. Laser with just 31 seconds. Rook c7. All white pieces on the dark squares. Yeah, exactly. Exchange sacrifice looks fine for black. Might very well be, especially with the queens off. Black would be huge favourite to make a draw there. Rook dt7 and rook c8 played instantly by Leela. And I guess rook d8 is going to happen. Yep. Rook takes d8, queen takes d8. And I guess rook g3 makes a lot of sense. Juicy, juicy dark squares, the Rubrica says. Indeed. Couldn't agree more. Couldn't agree more. Let's see if he's got enough firepower, though, to actually get through this, you know. "15 seconds. Do the engines have any awareness they're playing another engine? I guess not, right? Are they constantly analysing or while only they're on the clock? No, they are constantly analysing the position of the engines. Ah, they have the option to analyse continuously, but it's turned off. Interesting. So when it's not their move, they're not analysing. Very interesting. And a5. Look at this boss move by Leela. Just, oh wow, now Leela's gone plus 3.49. So Leela's now basically saying this is dead losing for Laser, who basically cannot meet the mate threats and hold on to this ace. And beautiful concept here. Just snapped it up all the way up the board, putting the time pressure on Laser as well. And now it's saying 3 plus 3.65. And, you know, if white ever wins this pawn, it's just going to be too much. So let's see how Leela actually wants to convert this. Very curious. And Leela's evaluation creeping up more and more and more. And Laser with just 13 seconds here. Let's see, +4 now for Leela. This is completely winning for white. And queen d1 being the move. And if queen d5, queen h5, I guess, is the idea. But I mean, a human, would have immense difficulty converting this. So I wonder how he's going to do it. Because I don't see a way. Queen h5, queen d7. Okay. Makes sense so far. Now what? Rook c3 or something? Leela under the 3-minute mark. Bishop a1. There you go, guys. There you go. And e5. Wow. Just gives up the pawn. Couldn't take the heat, laser. Bishop a1's sick. Yeah, he wanted to put the queen on e5. That's beautiful. Or queen on the long diagonal. Well, I guess he's just going to take that. And then return. And eventually get it all on the long diagonal. And I don't see... yeah, I don't see black surviving here. Bishop takes e5 played. Yeah. The queen will attack the bishop will retreat, and white will line up, you know, put a bishop here and a queen here, and just line it up. I can't even draw an arrow. Queen e6, I guess he's just going to go bishop a1 or bishop b2. I don't know which square is better, which square is more accurate. Beautiful. Yeah, bishop b2 on the board. Laser now scrambling to see if he can find a way to hold bishop g6. I guess now you're just going to go queen d1, queen h4, no, queen d1, easy does it. Now queen d4 is a threat, so maybe here rook d7, and then queen c1, rook f8. So now I think, well, do you just go queen d4 here? Or is there some better subtle move? Queen d2. Maybe looking at the other direction, looking at this h6 pawn as well. Could be possible. Queen e7. And queen c3. Plus 5.5 now for Leela. Clearly winning. Leela. Yeah, not looking good, bros. Not looking good. Plus 8, plus 9. Seen all the way to the end, basically. Queen c6. Ugh. Laser, queen f7, trying to hold on. But Leela just, yeah, brutal. Rook f3. And then the rook's going to come to the 6th. What a display. Queen e7, rook f6, putting that time pressure on. Queen g7, only move. And now how does it want to finish things off? Rook d6. Wow. Rook d6 is just crushing. Yeah. Yeah, that's going to end it, guys. Not going to be around for... Laser is not going to come out of this alive. Oh, at plus 4. Interesting. Severa says at plus 4, Leela has still drawn about a third of games. Wow. So really overrates the position, but surely not a plus 13. I mean, I'd be super surprised. And look at this, queen takes b2, queen c7 check, forcing the win of the bishop, and then the h-pawn falls, and it's just completely over. It's all over. King h8, rook takes g6 will be played. Laser 3 seconds to go, buddy. King h8, rook takes g6 will be snapped. Snap that bishop off. And basically, is Laser going into the endgame here? Because the endgame are, I mean, you know, the endgame is just an easy win. Didn't Leela draw a plus 153 position? I'd be curious to know if he did. I'd love to see that game. Queen e5 check. Okay, you have to take it. I have no idea why it's spending any seconds here at all. Yeah, but this one is toast. Takes king g7, rook c6. Or king g8, rook c6. Same thing. Rook c6. Rook rook c6 is just over because of check and check. Rook e7. Now you can give check and go rook b8 and rook b7, amongst others. Check, king f7, rook b8, and rook b7 is going to end proceedings. Here, guys. Rook b7 is Zugzwang. Nice. b5. You can just take it. Take it and play rook a5. Rook e6, rook a5 will be played 100%, and that's it. 2 extra pawns, and the rook is cutting off the king beautifully. So king g3. Lots of ways to win this. King f4, king f2, c3. Just go h4, rook a4. Don't know what that move's about. Really don't know what it's doing here. Like, literally don't know what it's doing. Like, literally don't know what it's doing. Oh, it's got no time. Surely it's not going to bungle this, even with no time. Why aren't they getting time? Why aren't they getting the 10 seconds? Oh no, they're getting wrecked because they haven't got the 10 seconds. Wow, they're not getting the 10-second increments, guys. Which is great news for me, but bad news for the engines because can he screw this up? Oh, they changed it. King d4. No, surely this is still. Surely this is you cannot screw this up. Surely. They're getting 2 seconds so the viewers don't lose their minds. Thank you. King f. Wait, what? No. He's not going to screw this up, surely. I think it's still out, right? Okay. Okay. It's wait. If you just check, if you just wait, what? Oh no, check. Okay, it's still a win because you go rook h7, check, and rook f6 and rook h6 is a well-known configuration, and rook h6 here. Yeah. Yeah, this is still winning. I think. Wait. Wait, is this still winning? Rook h3? Rook g3? Wait, has Leela screwed this up? Why is this winning? Uh, guys, is this a monument? Is he just going to go rook c5 and bring the king in? What is going on? Guys, what's going on? Surely this is table-based stuff. It finally brings the king in. King d6. They have no time to calculate, but I mean, come on. She's incredibly inefficient at this part, but she'll make it eventually. I get it. I get it. Wow, look how badly Leela is playing. Putting the king on a6. Why would you ever put the king on a6? Like, moving the king away. This is insane. They have problems distinguishing from amongst the table-based winning choices. Wow. What a botch this is. I'd be disgusted with myself if I played like this. Hold on, there's going to be a 50 move rule soon. 36 of 50, guys. Gotta hurry up here. Finally, the king comes to e7. Rook d7. Finally gets in. And h6, yeah. No, wait, what? Rook d5. Still no pawn moves. Guys, guys, guys. Guys, guys, guys. King e8. King h6. King f8. That's it. That is it, guys. King g6. King h8. Oh, God. No. Oh, God, no. Just win the rook. The rook is too far from the king. Surely there's a queen d8 check that just wins us. Queen f. No, 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 dude, no, dude, dude, dude. This is not happening. This is not happening. Tell me this is not real life. Tell me we're not on move 155. I understand it's a win, but come on, dude. Right, so this is the strategy. When you play Leela, get her to an ending on increment. Come on, dude. No, no. All right, 16 of 50. I only got 50 moves here, Leela. The good news is the 50 moves are going to go quite quickly, right? 18 of 50. Oh my God. Yeah, this is 10 minutes plus 2 seconds, so we don't go insane here in chat. I mean, why would you ever go king a5? He might botch it, you know. 25 moves to win this is not. I mean, that's sick. If she is trolling and she wins on the final move on move 50, that'll be a sick troll, to be honest. That will be just a sick troll if that happens. I'll be very impressed. Where are we? 30 of 50? Okay, she's getting there. She's getting there. She's really getting there, actually. She's getting to the critical position here, actually. Mate in 8. Well, Laser's seen mate in 8. So, but Leela hasn't. That's sick. Mate in 6. Mate in 5? Why is she getting loads of time now? What's going on here? I don't get it. Laser's just getting loads of time without moving. Oh God. What's going on here? What's going on? There's a meltdown. Refresh? Do I have to refresh? I have to refresh. Okay, let's refresh. Oh, it's just queen against king. I mean, the technique is just ridiculous. What is she doing? Right. I'm not watching the end of this. I'm sorry, guys. It's just insulting. It's just insulting for me to be here. So this is what's going to happen. I mean, the stream ripped? Did we rip? Are we still here? I think we're still here. Guys in chat, let me know. Please let me know if am I still live? Says I'm still live, guys. I'm back. Sorry, guys. Too much rip. Looking at this ending. I'm signing off, guys, because this is the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. Layla's got an extra queen and taking every move possible as troll attempt to beat Laser. I mean, I've never seen anything like it. I mean, it's just, you know, she did play beautifully in the middle game. That is true. She did play beautiful. Anyway, guys, it's goodbye from me for now. I'm going to be back on Wednesday for some more computer chess action. It's been real good fun, actually. Thank you, everybody who participated in chat. Yeah, come and follow me on Twitter as well, at Lawrence Trent IM, where I make all of the announcements regarding my streaming. But I just refuse to watch any more of this absolute nonsense. So I'll see you all on Wednesday, guys. Cheerio.